Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. I am your host, Mitchell Carroll, aka Mitchell, and I am joined, as always, by the Sad Boys. It's our guys, Super Yaya.
I'm so sad. So sad. I honestly just tweeted out. I was just tweeting that, so I'm a little distracted. I was just put out. Come listen to our podcast. Come give my life meaning.
Please.
As I talk about a team that I love but hurts me to death.
That's all we have left. Also, at the end of his rope, just like the rest of us, it is our guy downtown, Duane Brown.
You guys like soccer?
Yes. I don't like that soccer.
Cool.
That soccer's awful.
Cool.
Soccer's tight.
Cool. Soccer. Let's talk about soccer.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Rapids fall 0-3. 3-0. Emmanuel Reynoso just slices and dices and carves his way to a brace. Spooky adds one, gets his first goal at home since he joined the team at the transfer deadline. And it wasn't that close. Rapids looked good for about 15 minutes, and it was all downhill from there. Do we want to start on some of the things we found positive? Do we want to start? I guess just give me your gut. Duane, I just want to what's Duane thinking? Let's go like stream of consciousness. Where you at? What are your thoughts after just immediately following that game?
We're not very good at soccer. The coaching strategy is not working for this squad. The roster is not built very well. And the owners are absent on everything. So that's a top to bottom kind of quick analysis there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, where are you at? I mean, what's your initial takeaway? Like, obviously, defense wasn't great. Midfield wasn't great. Attacking wasn't great. Probably coaching, not great. Like, where do you point first? Where do you go with this? Like, how do we start this conversation about this game in a way that's not the exact same thing we've talked about the last X amount of terrible losses?
There's not, because the problem is super obvious. Like, there's no other angle to this. It's players aren't good enough, and the coaches aren't good enough. It's literally that simple. There's not much. Like, I think the coaching is still lacking, and there's a lot to be desired. I think players are not being put in the right positions to succeed. The only other angle that we can take is, when is enough enough? At what point are we going to see changes? Because is this the standard that's being set for the Rapids? Because if it is, then we're never going to see a change come. And at that point, it's like, if we're talking about this specific game, Juaner's completely right. No tackles. People are running free.
Juaner's was right. He had a point, and I just want to piggyback on this point you're making right now before we go down another endless trail the other way.
Priso tackles, but he tackles like an NFL player, unfortunately.
Juaner's had such a good point when he said that how can this team clearly isn't playing for Frasier. They're not playing for themselves. They're not playing together. How can you properly evaluate who plays well with Novaro down the stretch, who plays well with Tavares, because he'll be there, Ronan, like the few guys that will be involved next year. How can you evaluate this team if they're not playing for the coach? They're all going to go through the motions. Keeping Frasier is just going to be going through the motions and knowing that he's going to get fired. It's time. Rip the Band-Aid off. What's it going to take? A 4-0 loss to Salt Lake this weekend?
Yeah, basically. Honestly, and I made that point last podcast too. That last pod, I said the exact same thing. How are you going to keep playing these exact same dudes because you don't know what's going to happen next? If Frasier really is going to get the boot at the end of the season, you don't know what's going to happen. You're wasting half a season with two players that are seeming to have potential. Like, what's the point of keep doing this thing where you don't know what's going to happen at the end? I just don't understand it.
There's very little dog out there right now. There's very little dog, and then you don't have Rubio, you don't have Keegan, and the dog gets even smaller in this team, right? Like those two guys, are at least going to play physical. They're not going to be scared. They're not going to back down. And then you take them out and you replace them with, I guess, Bombi was playing or Sam a little bit. Like that, there's just no good replacement for those guys. And they're just, I also was thinking like that you can't even hand it over to the kids and the guys you want to see play, because Hanya ran out of his 4 games with the senior team in like freaking May, so he can't even come up and get some run with the team. They still haven't parent trapped Remy for Kevin yet at all, which is driving me crazy. Like we can't even turn to that because there's no good kids to play right now. So there's nothing to do.
There really isn't, and it all comes down to, and we've heard it, and I know Duane has some insight that we can talk about, but there's been some things being said by players and throwing out there where they're frustrated, and they're frustrated about where things are going and being held in practice, and it's just you can tell the players want it. They really truly do want it. You saw it today in this 4-3-3 kind of makeshift that they want to go out there and play, but it keeps feeling like Frasier's putting these guys in the wrong spots, and it's not coaching up to their strengths and trying to bring up the weaknesses to be mediums, which is what a coach needs to be. At the end of the day, I still think Bombi is better as a center back. Stop putting him out on the wings because you're not using his versatility, his calmness on the ball very effectively when you put him out on the wings. Put like as a right back or a left back. Put him down the middle, whether that's center back, whether that's a 6. Priso's clearly not doing it. Bombi's always putting in tackles. Like put in. There's a whole thing that positions don't matter anymore. And I completely agree because positions still matter. It matters how you play and where and what you do out on the pitch. When you're trying to pigeonhole a player into one side of the ball, it's not going to work. And it's just, and that's where Bombi is failing, really. Like he's failing because his best attributes having the ball at his feet and trying to find the next guy and breaking lines. Priso can't do that. And Bombi's also really good at putting in tackles because he just doesn't care. He's long and lengthy. He has that kind of thing where he just puts in his foot and he magically comes away with the ball, and he's super athletic. I keep saying they're going to play him at center back because that's what we've heard. We've heard he's a center back and they only see him as a center back. But when you're not playing to the strength of your players, that's when you start getting results like this. Why are you putting Gman out of the wings? He's clearly way more creative down the middle and in the 10 role. Like it's like when they were trying to put Ronan back at the 6 and he couldn't make a tackle, he couldn't cut passing lanes, he couldn't do anything. At this point, you're putting players in the wrong positions and they're not doing the right moves, and that's the most frustrating part.
Duane, I know you have had some. We were talking in our Slack, we were talking in the group chats. What's your biggest frustration with this performance tonight? Is it one player? Is it just the totality of where the team is at as possibly the worst they've ever played as a club? Like, what is it?
I don't think there's one thing to really zero in or target. I think there's so many things going wrong. I think the biggest problem on this team, and it is kind of what I tweeted out earlier, that one of the announcers, Honors, made a good point in contrast to it, but it's the statement that even the announcers are saying, quote, this is just the same old story.
I know,
and it's not and like that came on an international broadcast, everybody. That was on Apple TV for everyone across the world with access to it because it was a free game. You don't even have to pay to watch that little bit of magic tonight.
Oh God, people got their money's worth at least.
Yeah, if you like Minnesota.
If you like Reynoso too. I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Did we lose Duane?
2 games.
Oh, there he is.
He's having issues.
Am I gone? Sorry, I'm having some issues.
We're all gone, Duane. Don't worry.
Games in a row, announcers making fun of them. Gone again.
You're kind of every time you stop talking, you come back, and I think that's what's really funny about it to me right now. It's like
the universe has spoken.
Okay, so positives. I want to talk positives because I do think there were some good things to take out of this. One, Sidney Tavares had a good game. That was a good game. You saw some nice dribbling, created a lot of free kick chances, drew a yellow. Like it worked. Like his get his body into the other guy's body game worked. He had some nice runs around the box. I don't know. It was night and day from the last game. What did you think, Yaya?
To me, with him, it's at the end of the day, it sucks so much because I think he did have a great game, and I thought he brought creativity that midfield's missing. And again, getting balls through, he was slashing defenders and trying to get and actually breaking lines. The biggest thing with him, it's not his fault, but it's that those assets were being allocated to him when you already have an abundance of like midfielders that play that position, where you could have allocated those assets to a six, which is clearly the biggest need of this team right now. And that's the biggest frustration. But if you're just looking at this game in like in a vacuum, I thought he played great.
I thought it was awesome.
I thought if he keeps playing like this, I think he was gonna take Cole Bassett's job, and I think Cole Bassett it's gonna light a fire under his ass because that's what he needs, and that's exactly what you want. You want him to be able to come in and try to battle for that starting position. They're giving him every opportunity, and if he can take that 10-8 rule and you get a 6, you're pretty much set in that midfield with a Ronan and Tavares and whoever you bring in at that 6, whether it's Bombi or somebody else.
They're just missing that dog at the 6, man. I mean, really, truly, that's all they need right now is just a real dog. Sorry, Sydney. Juan, you're right. My bad. I like that he went with I like that he went with that on the back of his kit. We haven't talked about that on the show, but I appreciate that. For a guy that has like 2 senior team appearances in his life, going with the first name like that, like I like it. That shows some confidence.
Yeah. He said it. Fuck it. I have nothing else to play for right now. Let's have fun with it.
My favorite comment of all of these was Duane's internet could play midfield tonight. Dude. It was so tough, man. You're right. Like Warner pointed out the best. They don't tackle. No one tackles. No one tries to tackle. And then behind them, I thought Maxu had a nice game.
Oh, Maxu had a great game.
You know, probably his best in a few months, maybe. Really made his presence felt. Had that nice block early. Playing a little sweeper keeper action. You know, getting all the way out to the boundary and so that was nice.
Real quick, talking about not putting in tackles, and that's something Quanter's like very, very in like saying that's the biggest issue. Is the players not having the effort to play and to tackle, or does it come down to they're not being put in the right positions? They don't know where they're supposed to be, so they can't. They're kind of like out of place. Like, so you think it's more on the players just.
There's no urgency. No one cares. Why would you put yourself into the ground? Why would you create contact with someone where you could, you know, get cleated in the hamstring or, you know, twist an ankle or whatever it is, get stepped on? Why would you do that? Like, what's the point? You're the worst team in the league. Mm-hmm. Like, it's no rhyme or reason as to what position, formation, or lineup will be put out every game to game. It doesn't matter because you're not going to score anyways. You're going to give up a bunch of goals. It's going to be over early. And you just make a business decision.
And I completely agree, but to play devil's advocate, because there's something like I can complete devil's advocate.
Sure.
What's the difference between now and then? It'd be at the beginning of the season when they still weren't putting in tackles.
That's a good point. Like, no, you're right. You're right.
Like,
you're right.
And that's my thing. Like, I'm not saying because I agree with you.
Duane's back.
I'm sorry, everybody.
That happens, my guy.
Turns out the little one that's supposed to be in bed was using the internet up to watch the YouTube. That was not the Rapid show.
Oh, hey, by the way, real quick, watching the Rapid show, we got 23 people in here. Give us a like. Let's get to 23 likes would be dope. Like immediately.
That would be
we'd love you guys.
Sick.
So we'd appreciate you guys.
I'm pretty sure that would be a record on the show. Do it.
Yeah, like so we'd appreciate it, guys. That'd be awesome.
Happen
tonight.
Man,
your mic disconnected, Duane, by the way.
No, he's okay. You're okay. Don't. I mean, I can hear you, but
yeah, but it's Poor dude. Duane is just the epitome of the Rapids today.
My guy's going through it.
He is Rapid
the
man.
other thing I liked, and the other thing I do think is worth talking about, before we really start tearing apart some big questions and stuff like that, man. There's we gotta say it's Gutman to Novaro is a thing. Gutman to Novaro is a thing.
Yeah.
That long curling ball off of Gutman's left foot into that right at the front of the box hold-up play. There's something there. And we didn't see it happen. There wasn't anything I saw that happened, but so much we saw Keegan running up that right side last game, right, where he was like wide open and the play could continue. I want to see Cabral start next game and be that speedy option on the – why not? Who cares? We're paying enough money. He's just sitting there. But see that speedy option in space because they keep making space for the person on the far side over and over and over and over. And so you have someone like Cabral. Look, try it. Why not? Just throw it out there. See what happens. But or anyone. I don't know. I don't care. But like we've seen Harris for a few games now. No goals, no assists. Give Cabral a shot with Novaro. See, you're paying him enough money to. Like you should.
My issue with this is I don't want to. This team is already so bad, so down in the dumps, that it feels like you're giving Cabral the time that he didn't earn. Whether that's his fault or not, it just feels like he hasn't earned it. He's had all year to earn it, and he hasn't done absolutely nothing.
He hasn't played that much. I mean, how many minutes do you think Cabral has played off the top of your head? How many appearances? How many minutes?
I'm going to say 380?
Wayne, what would you guess?
Minutes or games?
Both. Damn, it's actually way more than I thought.
I was gonna say like probably 12 games.
He's appeared in 19 matches.
Okay, well there you go.
900 minutes. That can't be right. There's no way that's right. 900 minutes, 2 goals, no assists. All right, maybe I don't want him starting. Good Lord, is that real? How is that real?
Because he's bad.
Good.
Because there's not been a lot to watch this year. Like
900 minutes. That is like the quietest 900 minutes I have ever. I mean, yeah. Probably, oh man.
Because he's been playing defense with the rest of the team for 700 of those.
He has
minutes.
3 90s, 3 more over 70, 4 more over 60. All right, there you go. Damn. Crazy stat. Absolutely crazy stat.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't think he's earned that, and I'm like, so the issue with this team, it feels so privileged. It feels like the spoiled little kid that gets everything they want, and they do nothing and just complain about it. Like that's what it feels like. It really does. And I'm just like, if you're not gonna be good, I'm okay with that. You're just not up to par. But when you're not putting in the effort, that's the issue. That's where I'm annoyed. You see Ronan, he at least is trying out there, man. Bombi's trying. Maxu was trying out there. Nava was trying. Like, how can you not look at this and be like, what the hell? Like, why aren't you trying? That's the one thing I can't excuse. You being bad, I can. You not trying, it's like, all right, like, you're not trying.
Duane, you look so sad listening to that segment right there. Oh my God.
It's all true.
It's like one depressing stat after the other.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is a weird take, but I feel like Maxu hates being on the Rapids.
That's the right take.
Who do you think doesn't hate being on the Rapids right now? Like, honestly, I don't know.
I see some guys. I see some guys who look like they still enjoy playing soccer on the Rapids, and Maxu just seems like he really is regretting coming stateside.
Dude,
do you blame him?
No, totally not. But it's just he doesn't hide it anymore. Like he just looks furious at existence right now. Duane looks so sad.
It's funny because all I can think about is Because you kind of have that Ben Affleck look going right now when he's smoking that cigarette when he's out there.
With the Dunkin'.
Yeah, when he's just like, I'm so done. Like, that's all I can think about.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel with the Rapids right now. It's
I don't. Okay, here's my thing. I think we're all in agreement that like they should pull the trigger on Frasier. Yes, everyone. They should.
Yeah.
Not will they? But should they?
They're going to. I mean, something's got to be done, and the coach is going to be the scapegoat for it. And unfortunately, the problem is so much bigger than Frasier. And I mean, Frasier, even the announcers on the TV tonight, on the broadcast had mentioned, Frasier's first season and a half or so was very, very good.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach. And that's when the squad was built to the style of coaching and the formation that Frasier will run. Since then, that squad has been busted apart, traded out, sold, not replaced, and then some big injuries as well. And to me, that's where the problem is so much bigger than Frasier. Like I mean, these extensions are a problem for the club.
Yes, the problems are bigger than it. That doesn't mean that he's doing
I'm not saying he's
fired level job.
Sure,
right?
You got to coach to the players that you have, and it is clear that Frasier has a very stubborn style of rolling out the same formation and expecting dudes to play out of their position into the positions that he wants them to be in, regardless of whether or not they're good at that. And what you have is a repetitive season of getting your teeth kicked in because of it. So, yeah, I mean, he's not blameless in any of this by any means, but I'm just saying he's going to be the scapegoat for all of it. And the problem is way bigger, bigger.
It's just more like he's not the only one to blame, but he's going to get the biggest amount of blame for this.
For sure.
Kind of thing.
And he's earned some of it. He's earned
a lot.
You had 18 days off. 18 days off to get ready for LAFC. You're down 3-0 at half, lose 4-0. You have a week to get ready for Minnesota. You're down 3-0 at half. It's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's coaching. That is not the front office. That is coaching.
No, I agree.
That is game planning. That is preparation. It's terrible. So my point is, Salt Lake, right? Like, how fitting is it that Salt Lake might be the team that puts the final nail in the coffin this weekend? Because, I mean, do you have high hopes? Do you have high hopes for this?
No, we're going to get demolished on Saturday.
Destroyed.
Let's go.
I
hate it, but it's like the players aren't even, half the squad's not even playing anymore,
Why should they? Like, they're done. Like,
I know. I'm just.
No, it's not your fault. But
they should play because they're getting paid tons of money.
Tons of money.
If I don't put out the effort to do my job, I don't have a job anymore.
And again, they shouldn't have a job, regardless whether they've shown they're not putting in the effort. Like, why? What's gonna make a difference if you do it in the last 7 games? Like, it's bad regardless at this point. Like, it's just so bad. You have 19 points. I think you're 5 points out of the next place out in the West. You're like, that's bad. That's not good. Like, you have 19 points with 10 games left. Like, how? How is it possible?
Dustin's right. Just put him out of his misery. Don't make him coach out these 9 games of miserableness. Don't. What's the point?
And I think that's the right way to think about it, Mitch. I think you're 100% correct.
Well, why do that to him?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it in the car this morning, and I'm like, I'm not thinking about it as like we need to fire him. I'm just thinking of we need to release him. Like, let him be free. Go be a part of a team.
Yeah.
Go full Air Bud on him.
Yeah, just go be free and join a team that has a GM that surrounds you with the players that fit the system that you coach versus this weird island of misfit toys like puzzle pieces that don't match up. that were, that he's stuck with. So just set him free, man.
It is a
Release
little bit. And Mitch, when you were gone, we kind of talked about this a little bit. It was after the pod more than anything. Is Frasier a technical coach or is he a development coach?
He's not a development coach.
He
sure.
was though. He helped
He's
bring up
not.
Sam Vine and Cole Bassett. He helped Austin Trusty come. He's turning to a technical coach where he thinks I feel like he's earned the things where like I want established players. Because we cannot
that's not good.
It's not. And I'm not taking any blame away from him. I'm not saying, but like it feels like he has transitioned to this thing where like because you gotta remember he did bring in like 3 or 4 young guys that under his wing like became decent players and first team level players the first 2-3 years of his tenure. Like he had some minds. You remember Austin Trusty's another one. Courtney Ford is another one too, where he helped and developed him and made him get first team minutes. Cole Bassett, like he has that in him, but I feel like it's also been a development of where like I want to play this style. I've earned my spot. Go get me established players because I want to win, which I think it's completely fair. But it's also that's not how the Rapids are operating, and there's where the headbutting is. He's completely turned into this sort of guy where I want to go buy the players that are going to make my team good and stop kind of bringing up the youth with him. Like you see Ralph Priso out there, and look how long it took him to get minutes. He's been bad. I agree. He got brought in last year, and he's
he
barely
hasn't
getting
been developed. And Robin has known him since he was like 13.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
And he's
like,
not. Yeah,
it feels like that. But even developing within the team has stopped. Michael Barrios, when he got here, completely was blazing hot. You can also develop older players to fit your system and help them achieve what they need to achieve in your system. And it feels like he's kind of stopped doing that a little bit, or the players have stopped responding. And it's again, it just could be his messages getting stale, and he hasn't re-upped, and he's been really stubborn. How you said.
Yeah, but can Robin Fraser develop anyone who's not a defensive player?
/ already on a track and will be good.
Yeah, already really good. Coaching. Like, how much do you have to develop?
Sam Vines was going to get out of the Rapids.
Yeah, how much do you have to develop Vines and Trusty?
Well, Trusty was in Philly and he wasn't doing anything.
Fair enough.
So he was in a really good system and he wasn't doing anything. And there's my thing. As much as I think he should be gone, like I also want to talk about like where it feels like he's been, where he is, and where he's going and where he's gone. Because it's not white and black. Because he's done good things, he's helped the Rapids, but I still think he should be gone. And the truth of it is that he just maybe stopped doing the small things because he got a little too comfortable.
I want to talk about the Smith. Either you're out on Smith or you're out on Fraser. Like dichotomy of thought that's been going on. Whether it's like, oh, well, you say Frasier should be fired, it should be Smith. I want to get to that, but first we want to jump into some ad reads for the homies. Cannot do a show without talking about Illegal Pete's. In this episode of DNVR Rapids, this Losers Lounge is brought to you by Illegal Pete's, offering handmade mission-style burritos, bowls, and tacos crafted with responsibly sourced, high-quality ingredients with a full bar and a wide selection of local craft beer at every location to keep the burritos and the good times rolling. Stop by for happy hour 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day at all 12 locations. Illegal Pete's is the go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer for 28 years. 28 years. Legend. Pete rules.
Eat your feelings at Illegal Pete's.
Shove some queso down your face. Look. Oh, I don't have a tip of the week this week for myself. But my merch number 2, Riley, the homie, right? Every time we go to Illegal Pete's, he doesn't do this anywhere else we go to get food. He gets a Pepsi that's about 3/4 Pepsi and then about 1/4 of Mountain Dew. And he does this every time we go.
Wow.
He loves it. He swears by it. I have yet to try it out of principle, but I'm just throwing it out there. If any other homies in the chat or listening want to try it, call it the Riley. Good for him.
It's my moral obligation.
If you're forced to drink Pepsi, put some Mountain Dew in it.
You guys want to know something? Pepsi tastes like Mexican Coke, according to my mother-in-law.
Ooh, I like that take.
And Mexican Coke is like regarded as one of the better Cokes.
I think it's the best Coke, besides Diet. We are also brought to you by Broken T Golf Course. Broken T is the coolest golf course with the best vibes. I mean, it has a freaking Still Your Face Dead logo in it. In its logo. Like, come on, that's the vibiest golf course around. They have an award-winning practice facility. You can play 27 holes if you're really getting crazy with it. You can play the 18-hole championship course and then get 9 in on a par 3. They have a completely stocked pro shop full of all the sick gear you want. Trying to get our Pins and Aces polos in there, maybe. Check out the DNVR locker. We got the ice cream one, the DNVR camo one. Check that out. They have a great restaurant, Wyatt's. I've eaten there multiple times after golf tournaments and rounds and hung out, and it's a great place to hang out and get some food in after a long day outside. And they have a great set of experienced teaching professionals with Meta Golf. On Friday, September 22nd, there's a charity tournament. Prizes support Bridge House and the Tri-Cities Homeless Action Team's effort to open a navigation center that will provide a facility for community members struggling with homelessness to receive temporary shelter, connect with services, and create a pathway out of homelessness for good. Go to brokentgolf.com to make a tee time and get the latest updates. Use code DNVR10 for 10% off any round on their regulation course. That is DNVR10 for 10% off at Broken T Golf Course. Shout out to the homies at Broken T Golf. Okay, this whole thing, when we say Frasier should be fired, no, you shouldn't. You should fire Smith. Duane, why can't it be both? Why can't I think that Frasier's done a bad job coaching and Smith has done a bad job putting this team together? And I don't think either has done enough to keep their job. I mean, am I wrong?
Sorry, my headset just died. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, of course.
Great. Ask your question again.
It just feels anytime I bring up Frasier's, like anytime I see the discussion of Frasier out or Frasier not doing a good enough job, someone counters with, well, Smith put this team together. He's been terrible too. And it's like, can't one have done a job enough to get fired and the other done a job enough to get fired? Like, is that possible?
Yes.
Like, can it be both?
Sure.
Yes, Frasier is not getting dealt the same deck of cards that other coaches in the league are with more talent on their roster, but you can't say this team comes out prepared on a regular basis.
Sure. I'm at the point now where I think just clean it all out. I know it's going to cost a lot of money, but you know who has a whole bunch of money? The Cronkies. They have a whole bunch of money. They should pay for their own mistakes.
Yep.
And cover all of this. Yeah. I mean, the club deserves it. The players deserve it. The fans deserve it. They need to put up the money to fix things, and whatever the cost is. I mean, they made the extensions, and now you've got a roster that isn't working, a coaching staff that isn't able to work with the roster, a roster that is half tuned out, it seems.
They're choosing their free agency destinations a bunch. So feels like it.
It's to me. I mean, yeah, I maybe have been the longest holdout on this mentality. I think Yaya's laughing because I spend so much time defending people, and I am all out of defense. Every defense I've used, I have been proven wrong multiple times, and I'm grown up enough to admit when I'm wrong, and I've been wrong for defending a lot of stuff in this club for a long time. So yeah, I think that's. I don't know any other solution. There's been years and years and years of trying this the same way over and over again, and it doesn't work.
I really think that even if it's not firing Smith right now, right? Frasier is a shot to the guys that may or may not be able to start next year, may or may not go to an MLS team, hey, like you need to finish this season out with your best foot forward, right? Like, isn't that the message here? Like, this is not, the coaching has not been good enough. This person is leaving because of it. You need to step up your play as the rest of this club. Or am I off here? Yeah. You don't seem totally in step with that.
No, if I'm honest, man, it's like you're completely right. It's like one of them has to go first. One of them. And
I think no matter what, if a new guy came in, Frasier wouldn't be there too, right? Like, I don't think the order of operations really matters here. I don't think a new guy is going to come in and be like, that's the guy I need to keep. 16 goals in 25 games. That's the coach I need.
And exactly, and that's what I mean. Like, one of them has to go. And the truth is, if you get rid of Porig, you're getting rid of both.
Yeah.
If you're getting rid of Frasier, Porig has a chance.
Small.
Exactly, but a chance at all. So you're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, the ownership is like we harp on it so much, and it sucks because we sound like broken records saying it over and over again. But the ownership's motto with this team, it's literally you should be happy you still exist. Like, and it kind of feels like that, and I know it sucks because we all support this team, we love this team, we cry for this team, like we bleed blue and burgundy, and it sucks so much because we want this as bad as anybody, and it feels like. Yeah, right now I can yell and scream, fire Frasier, Porig shouldn't be here anymore, get me a whole new squad, but it just doesn't feel like the right thing at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, you still have the Cronkies in charge, and if ownership's not 100% behind you, what's the point of even doing things? Duane knows this perfectly 100% with Wolves. He's seen that team go from being one of the best teams, one of the funnest teams in the Premier League, to now being a complete, utter disaster. You look at St. Louis. St. Louis is not prettier, better, or more attractive than Denver or Colorado, and yet it has a better soccer squad because the ownership is willing to put in the work. You look at Minnesota. All due respect to Minnesota, Minnesota's not as good as Denver, Colorado, or any place around here, and they're doing better than Colorado. It all comes down to the people making the real changes and what they want, and I just don't think until there's a true commitment, Porig or Frasier is going to mean nothing to this team. They're just going to be a footnote in this team that they were the worst pairing in Rapids history, and that's all it's going to be at the end of the day.
I'll here's my hot take. I don't think the motto of the Cronkies is you should be happy that you still exist, because that team has doubled in value since 2013 from like, I don't know, 75 million to 300 million. They don't care if you like the team or not, because they're making so much sweet money off of our misery right now.
I don't think they're making that much money.
Dude, the team has doubled in value without them doing anything spectacular.
They went from
We're talking $75 million.
Okay, but that's theoretical dollars. They don't have $300 million.
But that's why you own
money
valued.
Yeah,
but dude, it's not made up, Mitch. It's not made up money. They placed the value on there, and that's what the bids come in. Look at
but the bids aren't there. They're not selling. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not selling. They don't have that money.
Right, and they're not going to.
They're not making money.
They are making
money. If they
money.
decide to cash out. No, they're not, though, because they're not getting that. The Rapids don't operate at a profit. They're not making money.
Here's me coming from the future. They're going to sell the team.
Wait, you still have so much hair. What the hell?
Whoa, you aged great.
And they're going to get a whole bunch of money for it.
Sure, if they sell,
they will sell when the team value levels off. They're going to cash this cash cow out, and until then, they don't give a crap. They just don't. And I don't want to hear any Avs or Nuggets fans telling me that they're a great owner because look at what they've done with those teams. Maybe they are, but when it comes to the Colorado Rapids Soccer Club, they are among the worst owners in the history of the sport. That's how bad they are.
I have a question. Does Josh going to Arsenal games all the time and like being around a club that actually knows how to operate and give a shit and put out a good product,
is Josh opening his wallet to pay over $100 million for one player when he's not giving us a freaking bag of Skittles?
But no.
I don't give a crap if he shows up. Open his wallet. That's what I'm saying.
Is that good Is that a good for the Rapids that he is going somewhere, seeing how it's done? Yeah, tell me. Go.
So no, it's not good because he knows how it's done and he still refuses to do it for the Rapids because at the end of the day,
Well,
that
this just started like in the last few weeks. This isn't like a new thing for him.
It's not.
Or this is a new thing for him. Is
He's
what
opened his wallet for years.
Wait. Let me answer. Wait. Let me answer. So Duane is right. He has done this for a while. It just never come to fruit because he didn't create the infrastructure to actually bring the team to actually be good for a long time. That's the thing. Now that he's seen results, he's investing in the team and spending the money that's needed to make this team good and profitable for a long time. And Arsenal is also one of the few franchises in the world that actually makes a profit on everything they do. Because in reality, very few franchises, whether it's NBA, NHL, or MLS or MLB, make any profit at the end of the day. The real profit from the ownership comes at the end when they do decide to sell because they're growing an asset at every single time. Arsenal does make money day-to-day basis. Sorry, my dog's got crazy. But Arsenal does make money day-to-day basis. They make a yearly profit, and that's why he's willing to spend that money at the end of the day because he is seeing that check come right back to him at the end. And the reason and the issue is it is bad for the Rapids because you see that he's willing to do it. You see that he knows how soccer operates. That it's not like every other league in the world where you can just trade and draft players. No, he sees that you need to spend money to be a good team, and he still refuses to do it for his club that he originally owned.
All right, fair enough. I just think seeing him like Josh, right? Stan's owned Arsenal this whole time. Josh hasn't really been involved, but he's going to the games. He's around the club. He's in the offices. Could it be I go there, I soak up knowledge, I finally conquer the ML. All right, I'm out of it. I tried. I went with something there. Nothing was there.
Would have been real cool if he'd showed up to even a game, for the team that he owned first.
Do we know that he hasn't been to a game this year? I don't know that. I don't know. How would we know?
I'm willing to bet the repeat.
I would bet too. I'm just saying, there's no tracker on whether or not they show up. I don't know. I can't say with any
wasting money on that tracker, I assure you.
Sure.
They didn't even show up to opening day of their own stadium.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's garbage, man. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
And the other thing, Juanes, you're completely right. He doesn't. Philadelphia hasn't spent a lot of money. Like Philadelphia has a great system. They don't spend a lot of money, but this is the thing: they have commitment from ownership. They built an infrastructure where they can develop players and help players get to the next system. They believed in Jim Curtin. They believed in everything, and the GM asked, "What do you want to do, Jim?" It's not butting heads. You're building a contrasting system right now where you got two people trying to do different things, and it's not taking you anywhere. They have belief in everything they're doing. This organization and this team does it, and that's the biggest issue.
Yeah. You're right. You nailed it. As we wind down here, really quick, let's talk about the last diehard sale we may ever have to join DNVR with a diehard membership. Normally, $80 for the year gets you all the perks we talk about at the end of the show all the time, right? Bar discount, merch discount, free merch, tickets to diehard events, all that stuff. $60. We never do these sales. We literally have never done a sale on memberships. Probably never will again. This is your only time. Gets you $20 off. Free shirt instantly. $35 of value there. Boom. 15% off your bar tab. Watch a few games the rest of the season. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. 100% worth it. And it goes until midnight. So you have 2.5 hours if you're watching this live. Go check that out. Support local. Support all these great people that put on all these great shows. It's not just us. It's Broncos, Avs, Nuggets, Buffs, Rockies, Rams, everything we do, DNVR podcast, all that stuff. You support it by grabbing a diehard membership. And in the locker, $24 shirts and hats, $24, except for the brand new releases, $24, everything until Sunday. So if you want to get stocked up for Nuggets, Av season, whatever, all our Nuggets championship shirts are $24 right now, normally 40. So go check that out. We got a bunch of cool Buffs gear. We dropped a anti-Nebraska shirt today. That one's not on sale, but you should still check it out. Get into the locker. Yaya, what's your favorite shirt?
I love the Broncos, the Buck and Bronco that we have, like the Strong Boy Bronco. I think that's badass.
Yeah, Duane.
The favorite one I own is the Air Jordan, the Air Gordon.
Yeah, Duane.
Oh, Sombor Maxi by far.
Yeah, Sombor Maxi's great.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, the Nug Life, the greatest design Eric has ever come up with and will ever come up with. Just get in there. We really appreciate it. It helps us. It goes a long way, more than you think it does. So appreciate any support there that you can. All right, last segment here, guys. Looking forward. RSL this week. Oh,
give us a like. Give us a
yes.
like. Give us
Sorry.
a like.
Like.
We're close.
Like.
We're
Please.
close to our goal. We're at 19 likes. Do it for the vibes because they're bad and give me a reason to live. If you get me to 20, I will be happy for another day, and that's all I need.
Do it for the blessings.
Yeah, we need the blessings of Rapid, man. Please. Oh, look at that shirt. Not a DMVR shirt, but a great shirt nonetheless.
No, you can't bite on our locker. Get away.
Yeah. Got it, Duane. Last segment. Oh, I guess I should ask, do we have any flowers to give?
Honestly, dude, I think this is unfair to the team to even try to point. It's unfair to people. Duane, if you have something that's cool with me, like
no flowers.
You have anything,
I don't have any to give. I'm not itching at the like. Okay.
I do like watching Novaro play. I will say
that.
Yeah, he's cool.
His touch on the ball is really good. Gives me a little bit of hope. We just don't have anybody that can get the ball to him yet.
That dribble through a double team to get out into the break and send that ball up to Bassett wide open, who missed that shot, is my anti-flowers. I'm taking flowers from Cole Bassett for missing that shot. Good Lord. That was awful. Okay. Looking ahead, Rocky Mountain Cup in Salt Lake. Rapids got their pants pulled down by fake Salt Lake last time we played. Well, both times. Was it Open Cup MLS or MLS Open Cup? Doesn't matter. Both were bad.
Open Cup, I think.
This actually brings up a really good point too, guys. Guys, don't be mean to the social media people. They have nothing to do with the result. They have quotas.
They also
have
can't
to
fire anybody.
They also have quotas. So they have to tweet through the game. They have to get out a certain amount of tweets. Because I saw so many people bagging on them, and I'm like, guys, like I get it. I'm also mad, but these are not the people to blame. Trust me, they're good people at the end of the day. They're just trying to make a buck and live in
a lot of people
doing what they love.
They also, what you might not understand is that they don't have a direct line to Porg or the Cronkies. So when you yell at them to sell the team, they don't own it. All they can do is tweet.
Trust me, and you're yelling at them, sell the team, and internally they're like, "Yeah, sell this damn team." Like they all want to like.
If I really wanted to, I don't have to tweet through the game on the Rapids account. I mean, I should, but this is not our job. We have jobs. The three of us have jobs at DMVR that aren't this. Like, I could just not do that and it would be fine. That poor social team, they absolutely have to do. They do not have a choice. They have to tweet through the game. I'm sure they wouldn't if they didn't get paid.
And I know you're saying they're doing good. Like, I'm not like Mavillion. Like, again, you're doing a great job. You know, like you're being a good guy. You're saying give them flowers. But I'm tweeting it out because I saw some people really going ham at the social media team for no reason.
Okay, really quick. I want to just, because we don't have a show before the Salt Lake match this weekend. It was bad. It was 2 games, and it was really where I saw the most people. I want to say that was where the kind of the turning point of public opinion. I mean, it's not that the team was good, right? Because it wasn't. But losing at home in a week twice to Salt Lake, you saw the masses just completely shut down. Is there any hope going into Salt Lake, into Sandy, into America First Field, the worst named field in the MLS? Duane, Duane looks like he's lining up for a mugshot. Like, do the Trump face really quick.
You're too good looking, man. You're never gonna get there. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, I screenshotted it. All right, good. No, I mean, do you have any hope? Like, honestly, like,
No, not even 1%.
not 1%. There's
Not
nothing
even
that
1%.
in
No,
this chaos that is soccer, that the ball will bounce the right way and a penalty will be called the right way, and the Rapids can squeak out with a point, maybe 3. There's nothing. No.
RSL and look, like, I can't stand them. Most of us don't, as we should.
I don't know, Duane. It sounds like you're about to say something very nice about him.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's factual why they're going to beat us. It's okay to hate a team and still be able to tell facts about it. Otherwise, you are headed to Congress. So, the thing is, RSL is on the rise. They only got better during the transfer window.
Yeah.
Their offense is potent. And it doesn't take, at the beginning of the season, I remember going on a rant about how I'm not afraid of any team in the MLS because our defense is so stout. And wow, bad take, Duane, right there. Because 3 goals before halftime, 2 games in a row now. One against LAFC, who is a powerhouse that will destroy you in transition. And when you've got our midfield gaps plus our defensive gaps, that is home cooking for LAFC. And then you go into Minnesota, who's got a powerful front line, only made better in the transfer window again. Totally took advantage of us again. Now we're going into an RSL team that is very good, that is on the rise, still plays Pablo ball with, super long passes, but, they've got the young kid, I forget his name. He's super young. What's his name?
Luna?
Is it Luna? I don't know. He's like 17 or 18. I'm so bad with names. But,
he's 19. Diego Luna's 19. He's an American.
Okay,
he was on that World Cup team with Yappy down in Argentina.
He's not going to be a part of RSL very long because he will be moving off to Europe or somewhere soon. And the reason that's going to happen is because he's going to obliterate that goal on Saturday. And he's just one of their offense. And I think we should be very concerned about him come Saturday. It's just, I don't know what we would do. We have tried every player who can play offense on our squad. We've swapped it back and forth. We've brought in a player from Brazil for a whole bunch of money if we keep him after the loan, who looks very, very good. And I love watching him play tonight. And none of them can score a goal. I'm not saying Novaro can't score a goal. I'm saying as a collective unit, we cannot score a goal because someone has to get the ball to him, and it's, I don't know who that person is going to be. I don't know how we're going to score a goal.
They have 2 guys that I like as players so much in Chicho and in Luna that are so fun to watch, and they have to wear the worst crest on the planet, and we have to watch them just tear this team apart, and it's going to be awful because those guys are fun, and I do not want those guys to be the ones that tear us apart. We already missed out on some good games. There were some good games tonight. That St. Louis game, I wanted to watch that. The Miami game, I want to watch every Miami game. And instead we have to watch this. And we're going to have to watch fun players just destroy our team. It's going to...
By the way, shout out Brendan Vogt, man. He's been all over the Messi thing. He's
coming on to talk Messi. I invited him on to talk Messi at some point.
Yeah, like he is going in hard. He's even like dabbling on Rapids, and I told him not to. But it's like
we have an MLS convert in the office because of Messi. It worked.
Like, it's literally like you do out like low level drugs, and you're like, oh yeah, this is cool, and then they start getting into crack, and you're like, yo, stop real quick, don't go too far in.
Oh, it's
like,
all in on Messi.
Yeah, like that's what it's like. Dude is like a huge Messi fan.
If you guys had to throw out a prediction right now as we wrap up the show,
a score prediction.
Do we score a goal post Leagues Cup? Do we get our first post Leagues Cup goal? Do we get any points out of it? Yeah, we can start with you, my guy.
Can I change mine a little bit? Can I just give a crazy prediction?
Yeah, absolutely. Do whatever you want.
Crazy.
There are no rules here.
There's also no one's listening anymore. We're 56 minutes in, baby. Do whatever you want.
I'm going to call this. This is what I'm calling. Right here, right now. Fucking screen record. Everybody looking at me. It's going to be a double hat trick for one of the RSL players. So 2 RSL players are going to get hat tricks, and Frasier's going to be fired at the end of the whistle.
Okay. I mean,
that's a bold take.
I can't say you're going to be wrong. I mean, 6 goals would be a lot. I think it would be the most they've given up this year by 2.
No, well, yeah. Well, technically they give up 6, but then there was some BS calls in the LAFC game. Those were real goals. I don't know why.
You're right.
Those were legit goals. They just took them away because they felt bad for the Rapids.
Sure. Yeah. Duane, do you have a crazy? Do you want to do a score prediction, or do you want to say something crazy will happen?
I don't have anything crazy. I can tell you what I think the score will be. Probably what a lot of people in the chat are saying is that I think it's very likely could be 4-0. Normally, I would say 2 or 3-0. But nobody loves destroying the Rapids and embarrassing them more than RSL. And I think they are going to come into that game on Saturday. You're not going to see that, like, even if the Rapids do come out and do their 10 minutes of, like, high press, energetic play, RSL is going to match it, if not eclipse it, and you're not going to see like you did tonight, or even the first 10 minutes against LAFC, where Rapids came out strong and the other team didn't know what to do. Like, RSL will know what to do. Like, no team knows us better than that club and their coach. And it could be bad news for us. I hope that the players are listening and hate me right now, and they want to prove me wrong. Man, nothing would make me happier than that.
Give them your address, Drain. Let them go find you.
That's fine. Hey, man, I'll take them all out for ice cream after the game. Whatever.
Teach them how to score a goal.
Bro, if Waters is right, that would be. Would that be a top 5 Rapids result this season?
Against RSL, sure.
Given the run of play and the situation and the state of the club, would 0-0 be like awesome right now? I'd have fun.
Real quick, before you give your prediction, Mitch, because I know you're a CU fan. You love them.
That's damn right, baby.
Like, and they play TCU. What's more likely for TCU to score more for the Buffs to score more touchdowns, or for the Rapids to allow more goals?
So will TCU score more?
No. Will the Buffs score more touchdowns than the Rapids allow goals?
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Yes.
They lost 3-0. That's 21 points. You think they're going to score? I don't know, man. I think it's...
Okay, side note, not a football podcast. Don't care. The Buffs have a quarterback. That's literally all you need to be decent in college football. You have to have a quarterback. They have a very good one. And they have a ton of fast guys that can catch the ball. They have one of the best players in the country in Travis Hunter at receiver and corner. I'm not saying they're going to be great, but they are going to score points and be exciting. For sure. 100%. I think the Buffs score 35. Boom.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, I think it's gonna be deadlock. I think the Rapids allow 3-4. I think the Rapids allow 6 goals, and
You
CU
said
only
2
6.
hat tricks, so yeah.
That's why I think the Rapids
That's
allow
right.
6 goals. Yeah.
Jeez. God, you're
Look,
killing me. I got 6 goals.
I've been saying
I'm
it
all
year.
in on the evil. Give me disaster. I want him to get beat down right now. Like
I know. I know.
Look,
I know.
look. There's going to be a game at some point. It just happens how it works. There's going to be a game.
I talked about yesterday morning.
There's going to be a game where the Rapids, where it works, and it's not their fault, right? Like it's going to be someone else's fault, but it's going to work, and the goals are going to go in, and there will be chaos, and they'll win a game they shouldn't, and it's going to happen. Like for sure, it's going to happen. But it's not happening on Saturday, baby, because it's going to be a bloodbath. 4. I think it's 4-0. No, 3-0. 3-0, so it's an even 10 goals conceded, no goals scored through Leagues Cup. Like since Leagues Cup. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a nice round number. Give me that. Yep. As I want Novaro to score. I want to keep predicting it. Like, okay, I'm into that one.
I also love that Juan is just like dropping like bets on here.
Look, it's gonna happen. Like there will be a game. I don't know when it is. It could be that Dallas game. Could be that Portland game that's left. Could be I don't know. There's a game left. There is a game left where the Rapids we're all gonna be down. We're all gonna say it's terrible, and they're gonna win. But it probably won't be Saturday.
At the end of the day, all that matters, remember that you are Leafs, not the Spanish FA. That's all you need to be happy about, that you're not the Spanish FA. You might be bad.
There's always something worse going on.
What a bunch of dummies.
At least your mother's not locked in a church on a hunger strike because you did something bad. Remember that.
Call your mom, folks.
Or don't. You're just going to be sad.
Any other thoughts there, guys? We hit the hour mark already. Anything else you want to get off your chest before we see each other again for the post game after the Salt Lake game?
Kevin.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there anything?
Hey, the Rockies are going to lose 100 games, so it's about as bad as.
Hey, here's one. Here's one. We'll leave it with this.
Okay.
Who breaks the record for who clinches the record for worst season in team history first? The Rockies with 100 losses or the Colorado Rapids with their
Well, I believe the Rockies' last loss just made sure that if they went undefeated the rest of the way, they couldn't finish 500. Right, so I'm gonna.
I think they have like 29 games left.
No, I'm saying they've clinched
like
not being able to make 500. They've already clinched that. They cannot
right, but we're talking about 100 losses. We're talking about getting to 100.
No, I know. I'm saying if they have 20-something games left, they're for sure they're hitting the 100 mark. They're terrible.
I think this is what it has to do. We have to do a TDSP, a little crossover episode where we debate who's the worst team in Colorado with the Rockies.
Wow, it's a sad show for the ages, everyone.
I wish we had people. Last year's Buffs could have been included, but unfortunately, Prime ruined that one for us. Duane, go ahead and start the plugs us out of here, my guy.
All right, I have a very special plug this evening. Our friend John Babiak is headed back over to take care of kids who have been displaced by the war and kids that don't have homes anymore, schools anymore, separated from their friends. Anyway, if you can skip a lunch that's $5 or $10 this week or whatever, jump over to him on Twitter. He's got a link to his help, and shoot him a few bucks for the kids. So those are as bad as the Rapids have it. You know, we're all watching this show on the internet with our computers in our homes, and we can, you know, laugh about that. You know, there's, as bad as the Rapids are, there are much worse things in the world. And this is a chance for us to help out somebody in the Rapids community who's trying to make life a little bit less sucky for some kids who are in a real sucky situation.
And we'll
go help
retweet it
out
from our Twitter account too, so you can see it there.
Yeah, I'll retweet it tonight after the show as well. So you have plenty of ways to get to that link. Even if it's $1, man, whatever.
Goes a long way. Love that.
It doesn't have to be this huge thing.
We already plugged the membership. We already plugged the locker. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up on your way out if you're still here. Please, goes a long way. Did we hit 20? Did we do it?
We actually hit 25, I think.
We hit 24, it looks like, according to the
Okay.
YouTube stream. So give us one more if you can. Would be really cool. Really appreciate it. I think that's the most we've ever gotten on a show ever. So pretty tight.
We're at least really close.
Yeah, we're close.
Thanks, everybody.
We really appreciate you guys hanging out in the midst of a terrible, terrible season. It's cool that we have a little community here who wants to talk ball and knows ball and has some fun with it. Obviously, shout out to Babiak like you just did. He's great. Doing the Lord's work over there. So good for him. And I guess after all that, we're still going to say it.
No, don't say it. No.
Nowhere to go, but up.
Up the beds!
I'm not ending it till we end it right.
Up the beds!